Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news this morning is that Manchester City's 2-year UEFA ban has been lifted, overturned, and the fine reduced to just 10 million euros. It's a groundbreaking, breathtaking news this morning that really has ramifications across Europe and, of course, the Premier League. Europe, in terms of next season, Manchester City will be in UEFA competitions. This season, the Premier League top 4 race has taken another twist. At one point, 5th place would have been enough for Champions League next season. That is no longer the case. Liverpool and Man City are confirmed as places going forward next season, and there's 2 spaces up for grabs. And of course, FFP. Where does FFP go from here? Now, just to remind everyone how we came to this point, why Man City were punished in the first place. UEFA said City were found to have overstated sponsorship revenue and break-even information in accounts submitted to UEFA between 2012 and 2016. UEFA said they acted under the decision of the independent adjudicatory chamber of the club financial control body, following a hearing in January. Now, the hearing itself came about because there was some leaks by German magazine Der Spiegel. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And that's why they investigated the situation and found that there were emails being sent from one party to the next showing that funds had been transferred in the name of sponsorship. They were reported as sponsorship revenue, but they were transferred outside of the actual means. And that's something City has been accused of for a number of years, actually, in terms of overstating sponsorship revenue, because their sponsorship and the owners, they have very much strong ties between who own the sponsorship company, Etihad, and who are the owners, of course, Sheikh Mansour and that group. But as it is today, Man City's UEFA ban from competition has been lifted. The Court of Arbitration for Sport, CAS, announced that they were cleared of disguising equity funds as sponsorship contributions. We'll get onto all the statements in a second. In delivering the ruling, CAS said City did fail to cooperate with UEFA authorities, but overturned the overall decision. And that was one of the positions, that they didn't cooperate with the investigation. City's reasoning for that was that they felt they were being targeted. So that fine, has the total fine, which was 30 million euros, has been reduced to 10 million euros, which is about £9 million. City themselves have made a statement. And they said, whilst Man City and its legal advisor are yet to review the full ruling for the Court of Arbitration for Sport, the club welcomes the implications of today's ruling as a validation of the club's position and the body of evidence that it was able to present. The club wishes to thank the panel members for their diligence and the due process that they administered. And UEFA, in response to the ruling as well, I'll read it out exactly. It says UEFA takes note of the decision taken by CAS to reduce the sanction imposed on Man City by UEFA's independent club financial control body for alleged breaches of the UEFA club licensing and financial fair play regulations. UEFA notes that the CAS panel found that there was insufficient conclusive evidence to uphold all of CFCB's conclusions in this specific case, and that many of the alleged breaches were time barred due to the 5-year time period foreseen in the UEFA regulations. So, as I said, the ban was imposed for things from 2012 to 2016. If they were saying there's a time bar 5-year period up until 2020, anything prior to 2015 or from 2015 onwards would fall outside the regulation. So it is nearly impossible to say if those things would have been found guilty, because we really don't know. Is it just a case of it's time barred, or is it a case that those things did not happen? Were they actually not guilty on those cases? We don't know. But overall, anything from 15 onwards, so the year, late 15 to 16, those things themselves have been thrown out. Anything before that, it may just be a case of time bar. We don't know. UEFA continued to say, over the last few years, financial fair play has played a significant role in protecting clubs and helping them become financially stable. And UEFA and ECA remain committed to the principles. UEFA will be making no further comment on the matter. The thing is, UEFA could go to the Swiss Federal Tribunal. But basically them saying they're making no further comment on the matter, something tells me that they won't be. Something tells me that this case right now is closed as it is. Now, what does this mean for FFP? A lot of people I'm seeing on social media, FFP is dead, RIP FFP, you know, it's dead as we know it, blah, blah, blah. Based on that statement from UEFA, they're still saying and they're standing behind the decision to ban Man City initially, because they're saying that a lot of it was time barred, why it wasn't found guilty or why it was thrown out in the end. But also that it has reduced losses for clubs since it came in. So it's still getting the desired results, even if the punishment isn't what we expected or we feel is valid. So maybe UEFA still feel it has its uses. I can't see it going anywhere for now, but it may have to be reviewed, because there's been a number of fines and breaches from PSG, from Man City. We've seen punishments in terms of, as I said, fines or squad number restriction and etc. So we'll really have to see where FFP goes from here. But as far as the Premier League is concerned, you know, we're talking about possibly a top 5. It's definitely top 4. Man United are playing Southampton later today. They can go into the top 4, up to 3rd actually, if they get a victory there. Leicester lost on the weekend. Bournemouth lost on the weekend. Chelsea lost on the weekend. They will be hanging very perilously close to dropping outside of the top 4. And that loss to Bournemouth for Leicester is now even bigger. Knowing that 5th place is not going to be enough for Champions League position. But yeah, that is it. Man City have been vindicated in their belief. Their decision to ban them for 2 years has been overturned completely, and purely a fine for failing to cooperate with the investigations. They will be in the Champions League next season. 2 places left to go. 3 teams fighting for that place. It's going to be an interesting, very, very interesting end to the Premier League season. Guys, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Comment below all your thoughts on this breaking news this morning. I'll see you all soon.